Hi, today I'm going to show you how to create a chic soft glam look step by step in the beginner-friendly tutorial. This is me without any makeup. This is our before and here is the after. As you can see, I have uneven skin tone, hooded eyes and some under eye bags, so let's work with that. But first, make sure you switch on your language in the settings. Check out my full glam makeup look. Easy base and concealer tips for smooth skin. Let's prep the skin properly. It's fall season after all. I always start by removing excess oil. If you skip this, your foundation will break apart on the T-zone in just 30 minutes. If you struggle with creasing, the problem usually isn't your eye base or your eyeshadow. It's simply that the oil wasn't removed first. A lot of beginners skip this step and go straight into the foundation, and I used to do that too. And the result? I absolutely hate that super famous invisible coverage foundation. Another common mistake is applying product directly to the skin from the dropper. First, it's not the most hygienic way, and the second, it makes it so easy to apply way too much, then your foundation starts to slip. Personally, I love using serum for prep, and they don't lift or distribute the foundation. They sink into the skin beautifully and they give you that natural glow. Look, one hand is dry and the other has serum. Huge difference, smooth, radiant, and ready for makeup. Using way too much product and not giving it time to absorb. Beginners often go straight in with the foundation right after skincare, and not just a little, they will pump straight from the bottle. One pump for each cheek. It's too much, it sits on top, doesn't blend, and ends up looking streaky. Let's clean the skin and do it in the right way, like a pro. I always use lightweight products and layer them in thin layers. This prevents creasing, makes foundation spread more easily, and keeps everything looking smooth. Apply just a little, work gently, don't rub or stretch the skin. Instead, press it in with your fingers. Warm it up. Push it into the skin. That natural glow is exactly what I mean when I say healthy looking skin. It's not greasy, not sweaty, agree? So now I have pretty large pores in my T-zone, and since the air is dry, you know from working at the computer and being in office space, they can look even bigger when my skin isn't hydrated enough. I used the SPF with a matte finish. It's not the silicone based and it's a mineral. The texture is breathable and it's lightweight, non-sticky, you don't even feel it on the skin. I'll admit the texture looks a little strange at the first, and when I first tried it, I thought, oh no, this is going to crease and break down my foundation. But trust me and trust the process. I applied to the one cheek, then the other, and then the forehead. Such a huge difference. Honestly, I could skip foundation here because it looks that good. But let's see what happens when we apply thin foundation layers on top. For the start of the show, my biggest mistake before was bad prep, and that's why I couldn't love this foundation earlier. So from hate to love in one step, proper prep. Stop struggling with foundation. Do it like a pro. Just use a foundation shade I use in something in between my face and my body. My face looks lighter thanks to SPF, enzyme powder, and brightening creams. And the trick is to pick a lightly deeper shade, blend it evenly across the face and the neck, and from the distance it looks seamless. Not too yellow, not too orange, just balanced, and it matches my natural undertone, but gives me that healthy, slightly tan look. Don't go too dark with the foundation, that's a common mistake. A deeper olive shade can work beautifully as a bronzer, but not as your all-over base. And here's another mistake, applying foundation straight from the palm to your skin. If you do one full pump for a small cheek area, you'll end up with a heavy, thick layer. And I use just 2 pumps for the whole face. Don't overload your brush by dipping it straight into a big glob. So that's how you end up with a cakey, heavyweight foundation on the face. Pick up just a little bit of foundation and make sure your brush has it evenly distributed. See, mine isn't, and one side is empty, the other side is overloaded, and one the bristles are stuck together. So to fix this, I dab the brush onto the clean area of the back of my hand and until it blends. So just much better. Now let's dab it onto the skin. The benefit of this technique is that you control how much foundation you are applying and can build it up only where it's really needed. Here's a trick: when you hold the brush at the very end of the handle, your movements have more amplitude, which means softer pressure, light touches, and more natural application. When you hold it closer to the bristles, almost near the metal furrow, the amplitude is smaller, the pressure stronger, and the application more precise. Perfect for building up coverage. Huge difference, right? I've just applied foundation and instantly the redness and blue tones are less visible, giving me a much more even complexion. Let's zoom it on the skin. Let's be real. Everyone has pores. The key is to know how to apply makeup in a way that doesn't emphasize them rather than peeling on silicone-based primers or pores erasers. Look at this coverage. Soft and smooth. Another tip, I cover my white baby hairs with my hand while blending so they don't get tinted yellow from the foundation. After letting both layers absorb, I mean skincare and foundation, you get this gorgeous result. Compare it to my other hand without any products, so such a difference. The finish is glowing, but not wet or dewy. It's that perfect velvet glow, matte and healthy looking skin. Next, I'm going to apply concealer and do a little light sculpting. Never scoop it straight from the jar onto the face. Instead, take a little onto the back of your hand and warm it up with your finger and then apply. Warming it first helps the product melt into the skin so it blends seamlessly. I apply it mainly to the Hollywood triangle, under the eyes, down toward the nose, and up toward the outer corners. If you go in heavy, especially on thin under eye skin, it will crease and emphasize every fine lines. I'm using the same type of synthetic brush I used for foundation, just in a smaller size, and start by swiping horizontally, side to side, from the inner corner toward the cheeks. Then stop just before the highest point of your cheekbone, and if you drag it too far out, so you will end up flattering your natural bone structure. Now let's choose blush. I'm going with a cream blush. It's the easiest formula for beginners. Even if you make a mistake, cream blends out beautifully and looks very natural. See the packaging? With Armani Beauty, the matte case means the blush has a matte finish. The clear glass jar means it has a glowing finish. I'm using the glowing one today and I'm choosing the ready shade. I'm using the same type of brush as for foundation, just a smaller size. And once you get more confident, you can even use the same foundation brush for blush. That's what pros do usually. So now placement. Smile softly and find the apple of your cheek. Then swipe the blush upward toward the temples. With the leftovers on the brush, tap a little onto the forehead, the outer corners of the eyes, and across the bridge of the nose. Do the same on the other side. Cheekbones, forehead, nose, outer corners of the eyes. This placement isn't about following trends. It's a classic technique used worldwide that adapts to every face shape because you are working with the highest point of your face. Pro tip. Take a foundation brush with a little leftovers product on it and lightly dab over the blush. This softens the pigment and creates the illusion that the blush is glowing through the skin and instead of sitting on top. This is bronzer. The gray tone one, that's a contour. My skin is tan, my foundation is tan, and my whole look is warm, autumn makeup. The easiest contour product I've ever used is a Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit shade, my little love, and even the magnet cap makes me happy. And if you followed me for a while, you know that. Proof of my loyalty, look how much I've used this, it's almost gone. So here's how I apply it. Warm it up on the back of your hand, then grab it with a brush and spread evenly. To find your contour line, bite down gently and feel where your teeth meet. That's your stop line. Hold the brush in the middle and apply with the bristles at 45 degrees angle and tapping product into the skin. This shade is perfect, not too orange, not too gray. You just apply it and forget it. It melts it seamlessly. And now I applied a little too much here on purpose. Why? To show you how to build it up perfectly and the most important, evenly, without bare skin, uneven layers, just dab with the same pressure. And let's recap. I apply contour to the cheekbones, jawline, temples, and sides of the nose. Just enough to lift the face and bring back the natural shadow that foundation took away. Here's the pro trick. If you place the product correctly from the very first touch, you will save so much time. Watch this. turn your hand like I'm showing you and swipe the brush upwards. See that? Seamless transition. The difference is huge. Such a big difference already, and look at how the skin is coming together and how the blush, bronzer lifts the face. Just wow. Sorry, this video is super detailed, but I really hope it helps anyone who's just starting to dive into the beauty world and gives you a professional approach from the very first step. So many of you asked me to film a video how to create a Chic Soft Glam look for an oily skin, and here's the most basic but effective hack. Use a triangle-shaped powder puff. It presses the powder into the skin evenly and locks everything in place. Here's how I do it. Dab a little powder on the puff, press it onto the hand to spread it evenly, and then gently press it onto the skin. Look at the difference. Instantly, the surface turns into a soft velvet finish. It looks flawless. No more shine, no more wet under eye bags, and the puff flattens the area, removes light reflection. And this isn't just for under eye area. This trick works beautifully for any areas with volume you want to minimize. Cheeks, smile lines, even for the forehead. Perfect for keeping oily skin looking smooth and matte all day. For lips, I'm going with a tint. I haven't decided which shade yet. I actually have it in 4 different shades. So this is the Wonder Skin Lip Stain. And you probably know them already. They are very popular on social media. So I swatch them on my hand, let them dry, and then wash them off to see how the stain looks. So on my tan skin, the last 2 shades looks especially beautiful. So let's pick the one that fits this outfit best. I like to apply it almost like a lip liner first. The applicator is precise, so it's easier to outline the lips, and you can also use a sharp lip brush if you want more control. Then I fill in the lips with a stain and apply a generous layer. Once it dries slightly, you can apply a second layer for extra intensity, and it's not necessary, but I want to show you the maximum payoff you can get. Just wait a little bit, let it dry, and let's create an ombre effect. Gently remove it from the center of the lips with a cotton pad soaked in water. And look at the final color. Gorgeous, exactly the result I wanted. It's waterproof, smudge-proof, and leaves only a soft tint behind. At this point, you could stop here, or you can take it further with a lip liner and gloss. Let's choose a brownish lip pencil to add dimensions. I just start with the center of the bottom lip, then go to corners, and then go to the cupid bows, and that's it. Work from corners toward the center. Use short like strokes rather than one long line. It looks more natural and is easier to control. Blend inward. Don't just leave the line sitting as an outline. With a lip brush or fingertip, softly blur the line into the lip shape. If you are not into matte lips, you can also just top it with your favorite lip gloss for a fresh, comfortable finish. See that effect? Defined but soft edges, no harsh lines, and a full dimensional lip. Such a beautiful lip combo. Definitely can recommend it, and even without eye makeup it looks pretty good. What do you think? Now let's move on to the brows. Let's keep soft glam brows sculpted but natural. I start by brushing my brows upward with a spoolie and just to see the natural shape, and then with light strokes I outline the bottom of the brow to create definition and do the same on the top, but very softly so it doesn't look harsh. And next, I fill in any sparse area using short hair-like strokes, focusing mainly on the tail of the brow, where I need more structure. For the front of the brow, I go much lighter, almost like shading, so it looks natural and not blocky. Apply a thin layer of eye primer, don't use too much. Thick creamy layers never dry properly and will crease. I like to tap off the extra product on the back of my hand before applying, and cover the entire lid up to the brow bone. The next common beginner mistake is using a dull pencil. No, always sharpen your pencil first. This gives you precise, controlled application. When drawing the lash line, don't use just the tip of the pencil. Instead, lay the pencil flat and lightly press it along the lash line. Tap before the highest point of the eye and then add a little to the low lash line. While the liner is still slightly wet, smudge the tip to create a soft base for blending. This prepares the shape for the rest of your eye makeup. I'm using a red-brown shade to play with the color wheel. Red is opposite green on the color wheel, so it makes my green eyes pop. Next, take a flat brush and blend the liner side to side. No complicated technique needed. You can even use your fingertip. The goal is just to blend it softly. You can also turn your hand that way I'm showing and blend inside the eye shape, staying closer to the line. Last step, prevent creasing. Creamy liners need to be set with a powder eyeshadow. I'm using the same reddish shade as before. Mistake to avoid. Tapping out the excess product or blowing on the brush, that's unhygienic and wastes pigment. Instead, load the brush fully and gradually deposit the color onto the lid. Build slowly. This ensures smooth coverage and prevent creasing. First, dab your eyeshadows on the back of your hand to prevent fallout, and then apply them above the pencil line. But don't go too high just yet. We will blend everything together later, just not now. The main idea is to dry out the pencil first to prevent smudging and transferring. I like to do 2, maybe 3 layers of eyeshadow so to make sure it stays in place. Next, take a brown matte shade and using a small brush, press it just slightly above the reddish pencil line. At the outer corners, make the line wider. At the inner corners, thinner. The widest point should be just past the highest point of the eye. Keep the pencil shade in mind as a guide. Then I use a light beige shade and apply it above the brow color. So since I have hooded lids, this technique eats a bit of my lid space and creates the illusion of slightly smaller eyes. Apply the light shade directly to the inner corners. You will instantly see how it opens up your eyes, and apply 2 layers. Clean your brush on the back of your hand again and blend for a seamless finish. To really open up the eyes, mascara is a key, but first you need to curl your lashes, especially if yours grows straight down like mine. I love this curler from Shiseido, very comfortable to use, not hurting the lids. Use the wand as close to the roots as possible and roll it slightly to lift. I'm loving the new Armani mascara, not just for the black intense color, but the triangle cap is perfect for holding it in your hand. The bristles are gorgeous. I turn my lashes to the sides for a foxy cat eye effect, not a doll-like look, just slightly outward. This for me is the ultimate fall makeup look, soft, chic, and perfect for the season after all the glowing summer looks. Now let's do the other eye. Wiggle the wand at the roots, blink to coat every lash, and turn the lashes slightly to the sides at 45 degrees angle. And look at the final result. The eyes are lifted, elongated, and perfectly blended. This soft glam makeup is perfect for everyday elegance, dinner dates, or special events, anytime you want to look polished without feeling overdone. A tip for fall makeup: you don't always need warm, spicy latte tones or other warm tones. If your undertone is different, try burgundy or olive shades. They look gorgeous and sophisticated as well. Skip overly terracotta or bright orange brown shades for this kind of subtle chic look. Look at the skin, velvety, with a subtle glow, comfortable and lightweight. The step-by-step layering really makes a difference. The makeup lasts longer, feels light, and looks natural. Thank you so much for watching, and you also may join my membership to say thank you for my very detailed information about step-by-step pro tips, product secrets, and in-depth tutorials. I'm glad to be helpful here for you, and let me know in the comments what would you like to watch next. Ciao!